Pisces, hello. Welcome to Coffee, Sage, and Tarot. This is going to be your monthly for December 2025. We're going to, what is happening there? There we go. We're going to take a look at any challenges, opportunities, as well as the energy you should be embracing and releasing as we head into December already. For those of you that are interested in a 2026 overview, I do have one-on-one sessions available. Okay, just send me an email and we can make that happen for you. All the cards have been pre-shuffled. So let's see what they have to say for you. Thank you. Okay. So lots of earth energy here, which I'm actually here for. We'll see how that clarifies for you. Pisces, but Scorpio had a lot of earth energy as well. So kind of being grounded, being pulled to earth, and kind of this idea of focusing on things, right? Focusing on our material world here for better or worse, right? So the challenge here we see is the High Priestess. So trusting that intuition or acknowledging that that intuition is something that we can be relied upon. Maybe you're not listening to it at this point in time, right? And that's the challenge, is that it's there and it might be popping things up in your brain and kind of really wanting you to listen, right? That Nine of Pentacles in the opportunity, that's really lovely. Scorpio had that same placement with that Nine of Pentacles there. So it does feel like, you know, enjoying some sort of achievement here, really enjoying what you have and the sacrifice that it took to get here. This does feel like taking a look, reflecting on 2025 and all that you've done this year, and really just kind of enjoying how far you've come during that time. Ten of Pentacles, in terms of what you should be releasing, an ending, or the fact that that one is near, or the fact that or the idea being that everybody should be celebrating your wins with you. Everyone should be turning to look and see, and, you know, open the gates to look at Pisces and see all that they've done, right? I'm kind of getting this idea of, with that Nine of Pentacles, is personal satisfaction and cycle completion, right? But with the Ten of Pentacles, it's almost like we're letting people in on that and sharing that, or I'm getting this idea of seeking that validation from the material world just a little bit. Okay, and then we do have Seven of Pentacles in what we should be embracing here. So this idea of taking stock, making sure the seeds that we are planting are delivering, and if they're not, what can we move forward with? So very much this idea of, okay, we've done it, we've gotten this far, what's next, right? And how do we continue to move forward? We have that Three of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and that Six of Swords. Some of you might be traveling, okay, moving, all right, in the near future here. Enjoying connections, enjoying partnerships, enjoying people, right? Perhaps even moving with a significant other, or moving in with a significant other. Okay, take that as it resonates. Let's go ahead and get some, the cat. It's gonna be catting. Let's get some clarifiers here for Pisces. Let's get some clarifiers for that High Priestess in terms of challenges. Oop, thank you. Let's clarify that Nine of Pentacles as opportunity. Let's clarify. I don't even want to know what the cat is getting into here. Just knocking things off. Just knocking things off. The Star. Ten of Pentacles. Let's clarify that, please. Thank you. Let's get some clarifiers. Thank you. One more for that Ten of Pentacles, please. Interesting. And that Seven of Pentacles as what Pisces should be embracing, please. Show me that Seven of Pentacles as what Pisces should be embracing. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling that that Queen of Pentacles was going to be showing up here. Can we see everything more or less? Okay. So High Priestess is clarified by that King of Wands, the Moon, you, and Hermit in reverse. I feel like we had something similar pop up here for you in that you can't rely on, you're in uncharted territory here. And you can't rely on what has gotten you this far, because what has gotten you this far will not push you forward into where it is that you plan on going, where you want to go. Okay. And that's really what I'm seeing here. There's no roadmap for where you are currently. And that's a challenge, right? You can't rely on anyone as well. You can't rely on anyone but yourself here. Nobody else is going to do this for you, whatever this dynamic is that is popping on to the board here for you, right? And so it feels kind of like this idea that we want somebody to do this for us, Pisces, but you have to rely on yourself. And that feels kind of like a big lesson in itself, right? That you have no one else to rely on. You don't have any experience in this, and you are very much, perhaps you're feeling a little isolated here, feeling a little bit on your own, right? But it's a growing that's happening here. With that Nine of Pentacles, we have that King of Pentacles in reverse, the Seven of Wands, and that Star. So something didn't end the way that we wanted it to, or perhaps we're being too materialistic here, and that's getting in the way of what we want and where we are trying to get, right? This idea with that Nine of Pentacles, perhaps we're enjoying materialistic things a little bit too much, enjoying what we've worked so hard for a little bit too much, right? And there is that tendency, Pisces, to celebrate, to go a little bit overboard here. And that's kind of what I'm seeing with that Nine of Pentacles. So there's an opportunity to enjoy, but how much enjoyment is too much enjoyment here? And it feels like perhaps we're leaning on that a little too much in December. And so there's kind of this idea here where we don't want that to impact where we're headed. Okay. We're just zooming through. This is crazy. 10 of Pentacles here. We have the Three of Pentacles on its side, the Six of Pentacles, and then that Two of Pentacles on its side. That's interesting. It feels like we're moving away from something new and doubling down on some sort of connection, some sort of partnership here, in a very public way. Perhaps you're taking a relationship public, or perhaps you're celebrating that union or that partnership in a way that you haven't yet. Perhaps you're even making it more of a priority here than something else that you've been working on. And it feels like that is the right thing for you, but I'm wondering if this Ten of Pentacles here, yeah, there's something that has to do with a social component, a social aspect here. It feels like you want this recognition, and I'm just wondering if you're getting it in the way that you want it. And I guess I would just be hesitant, Pisces, of how much recognition you're looking for, and if you're relying on that just a little too much this month, okay? As it relates to this connection here, this partnership, and just with that Ten of Pentacles, it just feels like, yeah, like this idea of we want to share it, we want everybody to know, which is great, but also once we get, there's something to be said for too many cooks in the kitchen. right? And then everybody's opinions. As soon as you invite people in on information, they believe they're entitled to an opinion, right? And so I would just be mindful of that as you head into December. With that Seven of Pentacles here, we have that Magician, Queen of Pentacles, and that Nine of Cups. Yeah, this feels very much like the social component and seeking or like obtaining validation, not necessarily seeking it, but obtaining validation externally, where this is working on trusting ourselves, loving ourselves, making change happen for us, trusting in what we have, trusting in knowing that we have enough, that we can provide for ourselves enough. And of course, there you are popping up as well with that Nine of Cups, that personal satisfaction that we can feel from the inside, right? This idea of we don't need these things. We don't need to shout to the world what we should know and feel secure about inside, Pisces. And that's really what I'm seeing here is like there's this social aspect here of that's great. And December is a very social month. But it feels like what we should be embracing, or at least focusing on, Pisces, is how to be secure with ourselves, how to be even okay in solitude here, and how to make things happen on our own, right? Going back to this High Priestess energy here and trusting what we don't know, trusting what we can't see, trusting our path, trusting in ourselves, and this understanding that no, we haven't been here before. We can't rely on people to navigate this for us. We can't rely on a partnership to navigate this. We can't rely on new people to navigate this. We have to do it ourselves. And the more we call attention to our path and bring people in on that, just invites more confusion, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to listen to yourself, right? You have to be alone, even and make these kind of judgment calls for yourself. Yeah, not at all surprised to see judgment behind there as well. This is something that you have to decide and figure out on your own, whatever we're discussing here. And you can enjoy, right, and celebrate and feel good in your different relationships here, your different partnerships, but you have to do whatever this is on your own and come to that knowledge on your own, right? And that's really what I'm seeing here for you. This is very much your journey, right? It's your star. What are you after? Seven of Cups, Seven of Wands, the Fool, Chariot, 10 of Cups. Yeah, so this idea, the 9 becomes the 10, right? We're cycle completion here. How this idea of feeling secure enough in who we are and expressing that to others, filling our cup first, and then once that cup overflows, sharing that grace, that generosity, that confidence with those around us, right? That help fill our cup and we fill theirs. So almost kind of like this give and take, not where one side is giving more than the other. Okay. Seven of Cups. Yeah, this makes total sense. It feels confusing, right? You look confused here. And you won't know how to navigate that until you start doing it, right? Seven of Wands. So, with that Seven of Wands here, right? Now we have that showing up again. This idea of how do we move forward? She's on her own, right? So we look at this Seven of Wands and we look at this Seven of Wands. Different presentation, right? This one is guarded, not letting anything in or out. She's moving on. She's made a bridge out of her wands and she's moving forward. She's using one to balance. She is balancing as she moves. Yes, looking back, maybe something's temporarily distracting her, but she has a plan to move forward. And it feels like, Pisces, what is your plan? Right? That's a reminder that this is a beautiful opportunity to look inward and let your energy, let your passion fuel you forward. Okay. The Fool here. Yeah. Again, this idea of moving forward on your own, jumping away from this need or this desire. Like, what is it about sharing your life so openly? and asking for all of these other people's input. What about that is important, right? And how can we move on from this energy and kind of leave that behind? Leave that validation component out of it and be happy where we are, wherever we are, right? Yeah, interesting. Chariot here. Consistency. Putting a plan in place and sticking to it. I feel like that's something that 2026 is really going to be harping on for you. Having a plan and sticking to it. Showing up consistent for yourself, right? Taking that Seven of Pentacles energy, taking stock, facts, not feelings, and being objective with yourself, being honest with yourself about what's working and what's not working, and having a plan of how you're going to move forward, so that at the end of 2026 you can look back and say, okay, I saw these patterns, right, that weren't necessarily going the greatest for me, and this is what I've done to correct them. And between December 2025 and December 2026, what is the plan? What are you doing, right? How are you going to get there? Yeah, Nine of Swords, Two of Wands, Four of Wands, Ten of Wands. Yeah, it just feels like there's a lot of conflict here. There's a lot of insecurity that is coming up for you, just beneath the surface here. And it feels like it's easier to look to others for answers and look to others to build ourselves up, because we're feeling so insecure about whatever this is, about whatever this dynamic is, right? But that's how you know it's important work, right? Because it makes us feel uncomfy, because we don't like it. That means we have to pay that much more attention to it, right? In order to figure it out so that it doesn't have any more power over us. Paint the sun back into your sky. Yeah, that clarity, right? Literally moving into the sun, moving into exploring recognition in a different way, building yourself up in a different way. Something lovely will grow from this. Yeah, and it will. You will grow from this, right? You will grow from obtaining new wisdom and going out on this journey all on your own. Be your own first priority. Forgive. Pisces, we were short, sweet, and to the point here. I mean, you're not beating around the bush. You're being it feels like you're being very honest with yourself here. It's a very honest board. And it feels like you have it just feels like you're being honest with yourself, and there's this almost this idea of you're calling yourself out on your own bullshit here, like your bullshit meter's going off and you're saying you're kind of ready for it, but you're not ready for it, but you're like, okay, I guess, okay, I'm here, let's do it. And I hope you do it. It looks like you're getting to that point, and that's beautiful. Pisces, this is what I have for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I wish you all the best through December and always, and we'll see you next time. You take care.